Let's start up with let's see what we did. Let's start with what we did so that I can tell you what what to look for and why we use certain elements in design. So when it comes to environment or yes, environmental manipulation, many times uh, the best way to achieve it to have a unified look is using camera raw, which will help us pick out key points generally, as in help us create a filter that will work generally on all the videos. So if you are using, let's say that's what you call cloud, right? Be sky. So let's say you do select sky and it picks your sky for the particular element. Whatever setup you do to that uh, object there, maybe let's say you go to adjustments, hue, and you start making adjustments on the hue, based on whatever you're trying to achieve, increasing saturation, maybe lightness or darkness. So whatever you do here, this like with these figures, I think I should do something weirder. Okay, now let me do that. So let's say I've made this doll, okay? So I need to come and select this other part as well and match it to the color up there. And I said you can do select and inverse so that it will select the other part. Then I can do the same hue saturation and give the same dull settings that this other one had. Use make it darker so that they look or they basically match together. The sky and the ground matches together. So we're always trying to create a scenario where everything has a blend, a similar blend. Okay. So that when you have the image looking, they look like if they are done in the same place or as if it's the same image, not as if you cut out something and put somewhere else, but let there be that blend. So, well, like what I was saying is one of the best ways to work on environmental pictures like this is to use the camera raw filter, and that's what I use. So let me use a plain uh, image, this one. Let me show you what I mean. This is still from the same folder that you guys are working with. So I'll just do this one side by side. Let me see. Okay. All right. So I probably want to make this one a little bit more beefy or pumped than this image. So if I go into the filter camera raw, remember you select this option so that you can do before and after. So, okay. So you can open the picture and let's be on the same page as I'm showing it. We will you'll be able to get a similar result. That XD pics is for image people. Are we here? Okay, let me know when you are here. Are we? Can we? Shall we? Should we? Right. So, which error was that? I had one sound on system. Okay, so if I want to make this picture pop a little bit more than the other one, probably even change the time of day, just like the first one we did. So I'll play around firstly with the amount of lights that exist in the picture that's under this lighting place here. I might want to increase the contrast a little bit, okay, so that the picture has a little bit more definition. As you can see, the definition is coming out. I can play around with some shadows and blacks to give a little bit of depth to all the dark regions of the picture or the image. So it looks a little bit more realistic. So if you look at my screen, you'll see that just by playing around with contrast and shadows and blacks, I already have a more uh, beautiful picture on the right than on the left. Then, are you, Eddie, are you walking around? Okay. Now, if I want to play with the colors, or if I want to do it, make a little bit more work, I can still play more with those guys. But now I want to bring out some colors, make it pop a little bit more. So I can increase the vibrance to make the colors come out more distinctively. So I have the greens and the blues, browns, the mountains and everything, the sky, everything to come out very cleanly. So I think I'll use a range around 70 thereabout. Yeah, and you can see there's already a very huge difference. It looks more cinematic. It looks like picture on a shirt that was washed. for a long time. Right. Now, temperature. Temperature has to do with the degree of warmth or coolness of a color, right? So going towards my left, blue, towards my right is yellow. Okay, like you can see from the example there. If I want to make it very sunny, I go towards my left because it applies a lot of more yellow. If I want to make it more gloomy, I move towards the blue. So like now for this picture, as it's bluish, it's looking a little bit gloomy. So I can put a little bit more sun to make it like a very hot afternoon, right? Or very cool evening. So either of the options that I play with for temperature. So if I'm trying to get a specific time of day, afternoon, evening, or early morning, I can use temperature to reduce because the more yellow, the closer to midday it is. The more blue, the closer it is to early morning, or let's say the closer it is from to dusk or to dawn, and put it that way. So there's temperature. Then everything you can now add saturation or reduce saturation so that it's not too clear. So, but I won't touch temperature and fire. I think I like this the way it is. The only difference I'm having now is I need to make it a little bit sharper. So that's where we come to the third option here, where we have texture, clarity, dehaze, and gain. Dehaze is similar to temperature, but it works a little bit differently. So if I dehaze to my right or I diminish to my left. So what dehaze is actually doing or seems to be doing is it's working generally with the amount of like you're trying to calm down the amount of sunlight that's hitting the image. But to make it sharp, I will use clarity. To make it sharp, I'll use clarity to bring out the detailing in the picture. Okay, you got it? All right. The clarity makes it sharper. Uh, Texture, reducing. One of the things I like doing is if I increase clarity, I reduce texture. Let me open. All right. So one of the things I do is if I increase clarity, I reduce texture. If I increase texture, I reduce clarity. Texture kind of adds roughness to the design. So, like, okay, look at this example here. See this mountain. Increasing texture makes it more detailed. Reducing texture makes it a little bit smoother. So if I want to make roughness here, I can increase the texture as the clarity goes. And you notice that it starts getting a lot sharper. It starts getting a lot sharper. I can see trinkles on the water and stuff. A little bit too sharp. So texture is good, clarity is good. They work hand in hand. But I tend not to move both of them to the same direction because it will be too much sharpness in the image. But based on this, I have a very good uh, design compared to the previous picture. So this one is what, when they say something like in Photoshop, say make your pictures pop. This is what we mean, as in let it pop up, pop out. Maybe somebody sees it, they can see all the details in their full glory. Okay, so you just play around, and whatever figure you find yourself with, that should be okay. So if you click OK, now I've only worked with these two options. There are other options down, After Effects, all this curve, color grading, and the rest. But I think this is okay. So as I click OK, I already see the differences between the before and the after. So that's what makes pictures pop. It's a nice thing. So uh, is the best for environmental design so that you can work on all the elements at the same time equally. It's good for human design if there, there are specific things you want to change. So, like for example, let's say I have this girl, or okay, let me change this one a little bit. So, camera raw. No, no, no. I say camera raw. So, I want to change this one. This guy. Oh, the girl? No, it's no. I sent him persons XD. So, which picture is preferable to you, left or right? Eddie, Edan, which one is preferable? Okay, so that's what was very easy to do back and forth with this guy. You have something to show. That's no, it's just there. I think it's at the bottom. Um, just here. Okay, this one. No, this one is environment. So it's in that form use. A place net here. Okay. Smart. Smart layers, work like a raster. this in the house as a combative layer like this.
So, how do I get the background? Because I wanted to do it in white background. Oh, I'm sorry, not white, but transparent.
As you want
If
to,
I'm doing it here, I'll have to do it as a background.
um, if you want to do it on a transparent background, basically, are you cutting off anything? If you are not cutting off anything, then it's not really important. But if you are going to cut off like this, you remove it and put him somewhere else. And that's when you can import him and put um, a background behind. So that it's like if the mountain is he is standing on the mountain top, but behind the mountain is another image, right? So
How you put the background line?
if you want to put a background, just add a let's say
Okay.
let's say I add a color now, a solid color. I will just give a weird color. So I change the order.
Okay.
So if I pick from here, I select cloud. Now, since this cloud is selected, I can maybe switch to one of these guys. Not for any reason, just add this. Sorry. The other way around. Alt. Just so it can work like that. So basically, that's when you focus on all those other ones. Okay, another way we can make changes, like see this picture of this girl now. I might want to have double of her, so I can take this one rectangle to okay. Let me just work like this. Trying to do some minor adjustments here. So with this girl halfway, I can actually start playing with. She can play with half of her body. Hmm. You see this effect here? Mm, so what I did is I selected half of the image and then did the camera roll on that half. So it changed the image so it looks like a filter blow of one thing becoming another thing. No, the same. I just created a mask which we're going to do learn to do today. We're going to learn how to use masks as well today. Masks. Whew. Okay, let's get right to it. Okay, let me introduce us to one interesting guy first, and then we'll get to these other guys. Hello, my crush. Okay, she's like a vampire for a movie, but he's undead. All right. There's one there's one tool after selection tools we're using Photoshop. Not one though. There are a lot of them, but they are used for I would say they are manipulation tools because they um, alter the image. Remember when I talk about image correction, image manipulation. Image correction just corrects a few things, change some coloring and brightness levels and stuff. But image manipulation, like I want to remove these pimples from her face, or I want to change the color of her eyes, or I want to repaint her nails, or those funny things. So I want to add more hair to her head, or remove the hair from her head. All those things that will alter the original picture. Now that's manipulation. And the thing about most manipulation is the layer that you're working on has to be a rasterized layer. That is, it should not have any icon here. Like this girl's one that I did, it has that icon. That's why I created smart filters that I can turn off and on. But if it was a raster layer, it will not have those icons. So basically, this is what I mean. If I rasterize this layer, it goes up with the effect. Now I can't turn the effect on or off because I don't have access to it. All the elements I have done have become standard. I can't change it again. So whenever you do something and let's say let me do this rasterize layer. So whenever I do something like this and I go and do maybe a change, like I go to filter, camera raw filter, and add that effect, right? There is no